Welcome to About 6 Acres. We were given a pile of habaneros. I guess that means we're making some hot sauce. It's gonna get spicy in here. So I'm not much of a fan for spicy foods. I'll tolerate some spice. To me, jalapenos are even too spicy. I know the habaneros are gonna be super hot. There's the Scoville scale that measures like how hot the pepper is. So a habanero is like 100,000 to 350,000 depending on the type of habanero, compared to a jalapeno, which is like 5,000. So much more hot than this. And if this one is hot, to me, it might be a little bit unbearable. So we're gonna try to cook it down, maybe add a little sugar, a little spices, and maybe I can tolerate it, because I go by burns going in, burns coming out. We're making it for our son, Josh, because he loves hot sauce. So hopefully this turns out really tasty and he enjoys it when he comes home for Thanksgiving break. So our ingredients are very simple. We have our habaneros, garlic, some onion, carrots. We have some spices. I'm gonna use oregano and paprika, along with some salt and pepper. Our vinegar, you can use regular distilled vinegar. We're gonna use apple cider vinegar, and then just a little bit of sugar. So we're gonna use some brown sugar, and then get yourself some gloves.
I decided to make cowboy candy, which is made with jalapenos. They're not the hottest pepper, but when you're dealing with them and chopping them and slicing them and dicing them, they have the nastiest oil that gets in your hand and there is no escaping it. So I thought I was being all cool and, hardcore by not using gloves, and it was the dumbest mistake I ever made. So when I went to wash my hands, I felt that sensation of when you put icy hot on, you feel that cool sensation, which is not really cool. It's like a burning sensation. So I felt that, and then when I went to put it under cold water later that day, my whole hand burned, and it was cold water. So it took about a week to get that whole sensation out, and after that I was like, nope, never again. Gloves it is.
Since I can't handle spicy stuff, sometimes I can be very gullible. So we, as a family, went to a Mexican restaurant that served tacos, but with the tacos they served, the rice and a pepper, which I thought was a sweet pepper because it was like this big. So Josh is just like, oh, you gotta eat that. That's a sweet pepper. Like, it'll taste good with your food. And I was the only one that had it in my dish. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I picked the whole thing up and it was nice and roasted. So I was like, oh, that's gonna taste good because I like stuffed peppers. So I took that roasted pepper, I stuck that whole thing in my mouth and pulled it out, and I noticed the seeds on there, and I was like, this is not a good idea. And as I ate it, it was like the hottest jalapeno pepper that I had, and so I had nothing to like cool myself down with, except for the little packet of sour cream and shredded cheese, and I just took those like shots, try to get that hot out of my mouth, so not cool. So I've added our habaneros, which is about 7 ounces of habaneros. Added about an ounce of garlic, so that's anywhere from 4 to 6 cloves, depending on how big they are. About an ounce of yellow onion. We have about an ounce of chopped carrots, and everything is going to be chopped, roughly chopped, thrown into here. And then 2 cups of vinegar, and then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of homemade paprika, a little bit more, it's okay, it's not spicy, a little salt, some pepper, and we'll add more to taste later. Add your vinegar, and everything gets simmered for about 10 minutes on the stove. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then once it boils, we're going to reduce it to a simmer, cover it, and let it simmer for about 10 minutes or until, especially the carrots are super soft, and then we'll go and blend it. The spiciness is in the air, and has gotten into our noses, into our eyes, and making me cry.
It's at the back of my throat.
At the front of mine.
Definitely needs to be done outside.
So our habanero sauce has simmered and softened, so now we're just going to blend everything together until it's nice and smooth. So it's done blending. We're going to wait till it cools down a little bit, but I could smell it just by opening it, how spicy it is.
Our recipe made about 4.5 cups. We added a little bit of water to dilute it. This is what it looks like. I think this is gonna work great for Josh.
It's hot. I only had a little.
You shouldn't have tried it, Nick.
It's too hot.
That's it for us at about 6 acres. Hopefully, Nick will survive this. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
Eat some ice cream.
You are awesome and you are loved. He's loved too. God loves him. I love him. We don't have ice cream. Bye.
Make me cry. For you, Josh. It's for you. The sacrifices I